Greetings, YouTube. Today we're looking at Michio Kaku's book, Physics of the Future, How Science Will Shape Human Destiny and Our Daily Lives by the Year 2100. This is a book of predictions of both the near, mid, and long-term technology horizons for the 21st century. Essentially breaking it down from like 2000 to 2020, and then or 2030, and the 2030 to 2070, and then 2070 to 2100. And I've spoken about Mr. Kaku before. He's a really intelligent man, and he's a good writer. And he makes some really interesting points. There's a lot of solid science in here. It's a good book. It's a little dense, but not too bad. I think it's approachable by your average person. And particularly if you've had some kind of background in science reading. And I really think this would be a solid reference if you were going to build a near future setting for a novel or a role-playing game or a script or something like that. It would give you some really good ideas of how things may come out in the near future. For example, he predicts accurately the existence of Google Glass before Google Glass was ever released. So the idea of having a pair of eyeglasses that are internet connected, have a camera and everything built into them, and a little screen, the whole 9 yards. He predicts that accurately. He even goes so far as to predict that at some point in the future there will be internet connected contact lenses, which makes me nauseous. I can barely put eye drops in my eyes. The idea of me ever having to use contact lenses to access the internet ain't gonna happen. I'll stick to some futuristic version of Google Glass, thank you very much. However, as knowledgeable he is in science, and particle physics is his specialty, but he has a solid foundation in all branches of science. As solid as that is, he is not a political scientist, he is not a sociologist, and he is not an economist. Because he gets some stuff in this that makes absolutely no sense to me. For example, as I said, he accurately predicted Google Glass, and did not in the least predict the societal reaction to Google Glass, which was, we don't want that kind of thing around us. Now, there's going to be a point in the future where that kind of technology becomes utterly ubiquitous. And I mean, right now, we got cell phones. Sorry, mine's making a mess, but mine's currently charging. We have cell phones that everyone's cell phone has a camera on it now. And we think nothing of that. And so eventually they're going to go, the Google Glass concept is going to become just the norm. I've actually thought of getting myself some of the video camera glasses just for fun. Just to try them out. I haven't got a pair. Anybody has a suggestion, tell me. He also didn't seem to realize, well, he actually seemed to think that the internet was going to make democracy safer and freer. That sure didn't happen, now did it? In fact, the internet connectivity has made democracy less stable and more easy to game. He seems to think that we are going to have technology that's going to free us up from the mundanities of the world, the tasks that we currently do physically, and then we are going to become the controllers and repairers and supporters and the programmers and the inventors of those automation systems. Whereas those automation systems are just going to replace a huge swath of humanity who are going to be left in the dust. We are already seeing that. When autonomous cars become the thing, and one of the first places you're going to see it is in commercial industries, when there are no more truck drivers, there's like 3 million people out of work in America. Where are they going to go? We're not going to be able to reprogram all of them, retrain them to become programmers and computer technicians. It's just not going to happen. My job's going to go away someday as factories become automated in the conventional sense, and eventually fully autonomous humanoid robots will take the place of things that need a more dynamic automatic system than a dedicated automatic machine. because those machines are not able to react and be as useful as a human is, or a humanoid robot that has replaced that human. We're looking at a future where there's going to be an incredibly small percentage of people controlling the world, there already is, with automatic systems, fully automated systems that just aren't going to need 99% of us. They're not going to need governments anymore once they figure out that fully autonomous military vehicles are being produced by them. So why bother selling them to the government? Why don't we just keep them and declare us to be in charge? So Mr. Kaku gets a lot of things wrong in here as far as the ramifications of the technology he is talking about. However, he covers that technology very well, lots of depth, wicked interesting to hear about all the possibilities for medicine and computing technology and cybernetics and a possible, like, what a middle class life could be like. It's the last chapter is like a description of what that middle class person's life could be like in the future, where humanity's essentially outgrown death. So I really enjoyed this. It's just that there's some really rather gaping holes in Mr. Kaku's coverage of what happens to all the spiffy technology he's talking about and the consequences that are going to befall you and I, the average person. And it isn't going to be pretty. And it isn't going to be the rosy future that Mr. Kaku seems to think it is. But by gosh and by golly, I wish it were.